We're back investigating the death of superstar Michael Jackson. The doctor who was convicted of involuntary manslaughter in Jackson's death is here today. After serving 2 years in prison, Conrad Murray is speaking out and revealing who he says is really to blame. Thank you for being here, sir.
Welcome, Doctor.
So let's start at the beginning of the relationship. When you first met Michael, what was your impression with him? What was he like?
Well, he was a very polite, very soft-spoken gentleman. I was asked to see the children of a celebrity. They heard that I was the best doctor that they can offer. The superstar wanted me, and that's how it started.
In your book, you are very honest about the fact that you would go out in disguise. You'd hire exotic dancers. You'd party in Vegas.
Yes.
Did this seem like appropriate behavior for a doctor to have with a patient?
I was his doctor, but we also had a very strong social relationship, where as guys, we can do things outside of the patient-doctor relationship. Remember, doctor, I am a subspecialist. I am an internist. I'm a cardiologist. I am an interventional cardiologist by subspecialty, and I am also trained in nuclear medicine. Now, when I agreed to work for Michael, I took several steps down that ladder of specialization. So I was far more qualified in my level of skills and specialization than what I was hired to do for Michael.
Stand if you don't mind.
Yeah.
So this is Michael Jackson's bed, so he's lying here.
Yes.
I gather you would sit in that chair normally or somewhere else in the room. So show me, if you can, where you were, how you came in, let's start with where you gave him the propofol. So Michael Jackson's lying in his bed.
Yes. When Michael Jackson, after having this unbelievable restless night, where I'm describing in the book, This Is It, as a hamster on a wheel, walking around all night, pushing his IV pole with plain, normal saline, a catheter on him to prevent him from wetting his bed because he had an incontinence issue. Finally, when I relented after he received lorazepam and midazolam.
Let's do this. We have a timeline. Let's put the timeline up.
Yeah.
This is what happened over that last evening. And this is all the drugs that, according to the police affidavit, were given. And you see this reader started at 1:30 in the morning, and you're giving Valium, which people can take, with a prescription orally.
Sure.
And then you give a bunch of injections of more Valium-like medications. And how long were you out of the room?
I was gone out of the room for a long time. Because when I left Michael Jackson, he was not on a propofol infusion, which is what the prosecutors contend. And there was no evidence to support that.
I have a different question. Why take a risk at all? Why step out of the room with a man who's gotten a fair amount of other medications throughout the night, has received the propofol, is not snoring the way he normally does? Why take the risk?
Well, I'll tell you this. If you add it up and you're a doctor, make it known to your audience that 4 milligrams of lorazepam and 4 milligrams of midazolam is not a lot of medicine for anyone to be sedated, unless you're a virgin to medication.
It was still a risk to leave the room. You thought he was safe.
Safe.
You step out of the room for an hour?
I left his bedside around 11:25.
And his position on the bed?
Well, normally when I left him, he was on the pillow. And when I came back, he was in a different position. He was no longer on the pillow. He had moved down, lower in the bed and closer to the edge. But he was there, but it wasn't the same person I saw.
So he slumped over. Is he breathing?
No. I did the normal thing. As a cardiologist, I resuscitate patients. My first thing, Michael, are you okay? Michael. There was no response, any pulse. He was lifeless. How long was Michael out? I could not say.
Was he cold?
No, he was not.
All right, so you're doing CPR on him on the bed.
And trying to protect his ivory from being dislodged.
So I want to go.
On June 25th, 2009.
There are reports that the singer and pop culture icon Michael Jackson has died.
A childhood rocked. Millions watched as Michael's children honored their father at the 2010 Grammys.
We will continue to spread his message and help the world.
After their father's death, I had the opportunity to meet Prince and his family. Fast forward 6 years, and after that sheltered childhood, at 20, Prince Michael is coming into his own, trying out acting.
I don't know about you, but I'm freaking out.
Running through the city with the bad boys.
Now stepping behind the camera as a producer. For Prince Michael, the real nod to his father's legacy is his foundation, Heal LA, helping the underserved in his community, a dream he shared with me when he was younger.
What would you like to do, your work with the board?
I guess continue what our dad was doing, like helping children from across the world.
And he is doing just that. Great to have Prince Michael Jackson back with us. Boy, when I saw you this morning, I was like, what, is that you? It's been a while.
It has been.
You're doing well. I know you prefer not to be in the spotlight, but you do it so you can shine a light on those causes that mean so much to you.
Yes, exactly. I'm not a fan of having my private or personal life out there, but I understand the importance of showing what I do and hopefully trying to inspire others to kind of continue spreading the good and helping the community.
And that's how you're following in your father's footsteps and carrying on his legacy, because that was very important to him. And talk about Heal LA. How did that come about?
Well, Heal LA is a student organization that John Muto and I had started earlier in my freshman year. It is inspired from Heal the World. We primarily focus on child abuse, homelessness, and hunger in Los Angeles area. Recently, we have partnered with a charity called A Sense of Home, which supports foster kids who have aged out of the system in a sort of preempt against homelessness, because it's very hard to get on your feet once you've gotten out of the system.
And I'm glad you're doing that, because people forget about when they age out, and it doesn't take that much to make sure that they're cared for once that time is up.
Yeah, it's very, excuse me, it's people don't understand how the little things can add up and really make a big difference in someone's life. So I have a great team. John, the president, he's on it. He knows the little things that can make somebody's, just the everyday things that make somebody's life better.
So you're busy with that, and you also have your production company, King's Son Production.
Yes.
How'd you come up with that name?
Well, I mean, it's obvious because my father was the king of pop, and King's Son Productions has this mantra where a title is earned but a name is given. So I was born as Prince, and that was the name my dad had given to me, but my dad had earned the epithet King of Pop, and that's through hard work and years of training and everything that he worked so hard to get. So it's a form of motivation, because my name is Prince, but for all intents and purposes, I am the king's son and working to get my own epithet.
That works well together like that. And you put out your first Automatic, and you learn that your dad made videos look easy. They're not so easy, are they?
No, after doing Automatic, I had done some research, which I should have probably done before.
Right.
But I had found out that my dad's music video, Scream, was actually one of the most expensive music videos to make, adjusted for inflation, of course. But I take a lot of my inspiration from that as well, with the long form of storytelling in music videos, because music is an art, it's a story, it's something that should come from your heart, and having an accompanying visual really can tell the story.
I will not ask you.
I've been used to seeing most females pass out when they see their artists, and they get, they get very emotional. But what blew my mind was when I saw these big muscle-bound dudes fainting and having to be dragged out.
That's what you do.
So I was like, okay, there's something else going on here, you know?
Exactly. What would your father? I mean, you have your sister who's got her modeling career off and running. How would he help you? What would he say about your endeavors, his children's endeavors right now?
I mean, as we were growing up, my dad always said, I really don't care what you do in life as long as you're happy doing it and you're the best at what you do. If you want to be a janitor at a high school, you should be the best janitor that you can be. So I think that he would always be the supporting figure to me and my siblings and support us in all the endeavors that we try.
Would he support that beard?
I don't know. I mean, hopefully, it just kind of grew out and we'll see what happens.
Well, it's wonderful. I know that a lot came your way in a short amount of time, and the way that you handled it, you and your siblings, it's quite admirable, and we're just keeping an eye on you, and thank you for checking in and letting us know.
Thank you for having me out here. It's been fun.
The work that you're doing. Love to you and your family, please.
Thank you.
All right.